everybody. My name is Brittany Huber. I am a certified personal trainer and certified strength and conditioning specialist. And in today's video, I'm going to be talking about how to read a food label. This is a question I get often from clients who are looking to either make smarter nutrition choices or just wondering what the heck they're looking at whenever they pick up a package in the grocery store. A study by Chen and Huffman in 2011 found that people who read food labels and know what they're actually reading make more conscious food decisions, as well as are more likely to participate in moderate physical activity. So I'm going to dive right in and give you a little example. This nutrition label was provided by the FDA. This is their kind of example. So you'll see this looks pretty familiar if you've ever picked up a package in the grocery store. What you'll see at the top says nutrition facts. So these are the quick bits of information that they want you to know about their product. So at the top you'll see where it says serving size. That's going to tell you how much of whatever the product is that you should be eating during a serving or a sitting, or at least what the rest of this information applies to. You will then, right underneath it, see servings per container. That tells you how many servings are present in that particular box or bag or package of whatever it is that you're eating. So when you see that, the serving size, that's how much these numbers are going to apply to. They don't apply to the whole package, and sometimes it helps to be aware of what is considered a serving versus when we pick up a drink or a yogurt and we assume that the entire package is one whole serving. So from there, you'll see your calorie number. Again, that applies to the serving size. If you took that number and multiplied it times the servings per container, you would have how many calories would be in the total package. You want to look at this, and then it also gives you your total calories from fat. Some people are interested in knowing how many calories from fat they're consuming. Underneath here, you see your total fat, your cholesterol, and your sodium. Total fat is like it implies, the total amount of fat that is in that serving. Underneath, you'll see saturated fat and trans fat. These are two different types of fats that are commonly seen. Unfortunately, they may or may not be viewed as bad fats. A study by Liu and her colleagues evaluated the different types of fats and their values. So the National Academy of Sports Medicine published a general guideline saying that 45 to 65% of your daily caloric intake should come from carbohydrates, and 20 to 35% of that value should be from fat, with less than 10% coming from saturated fat, which you see right here. You also have your trans fat right here, which in this particular package would be 3 grams. Trans fatty acids are unsaturated fats that result from a process called hydrogenation. These fats have been linked to increased risks of cardiovascular disease, decreased good cholesterol, increased bad cholesterol, or your HDL and LDL, as well as triglyceride levels. So these trans fatty acids should be minimized in your daily consumption. Now you may notice here that you've got 3 grams of saturated, 3 grams of trans fat, but 12 grams total fat. So where did that other percentage of fat go? There's other types of fats like omega-3 and omega-6 fatty acids, and these are considered polyunsaturated fatty acids, and these are actually good for you. So again, what they're trying to give you are the basic logistics here, the ones that you need to watch out for, so they don't feel the need to include the better fats that are present in the product as well. So like I said, not all fats are bad, but they're also not created equal. So it's something to be aware of when you're looking here. You also have your cholesterol and sodium, which are presented here in this example as milligrams. And then over here, you see your percentage of your daily value. I'll get to that in a moment. Down here, you can see your total carbohydrates, which is also broken down into fiber and sugars. So when you're looking at your carbohydrates, again, that National Academy of Sports Medicine number is that 45 to 65% of your daily caloric value should be coming from a carbohydrate source, which would be these numbers here. If you're looking at your fiber, that helps determine the quality of your carbohydrates. More fiber means that the carbohydrates are going to be digested a little bit more slowly, and fiber tends to come from whole grains, fruits, and vegetables. Products such as white breads or white pastas have been processed a little bit more heavily. There doesn't tend to be as much fiber, so this number will be lower while the carbohydrate number will remain the same. That also brings us down to the sugars here. And a study by Welsh, Wang, Figuera, and Broom in 2018 was evaluating the presence and effect of various types of sugars and their links to obesity. So commonly consumed sugars include monosaccharides, which would be fructose, glucose, and those are simple sugars. And then there's also disaccharides, which are combination sugars, so sucrose, lactose, and maltose. The disaccharides are quickly broken down during digestion and absorbed as monosaccharides. And among those, fructose consumption has been positively associated with several indicators of increased cardiovascular risk. When you're also looking at your sugars, and we'll get to the ingredients list in a moment, the most commonly added sugars in the U.S. food supply are sucrose and high fructose corn syrup, both of which are composed of nearly equal amounts of fructose and glucose. So the differences in their chemical structure and how they are metabolized help to provide a little bit more about why certain high sugar foods are associated with good diet outcomes while others are associated negatively. Their study also found that liquid sugars, so sugar consumed through sugary drinks, are linked more positively with obesity and other negative health outcomes as opposed to solid foods, which tend to increase your satiety. So not all sugars are created equals. There's added sugars and there's naturally occurring sugars, which would be present in things like fruits, vegetables, and milk sources. We also have the protein down underneath here, which again, certain diets may be looking for higher amounts of protein or lower amounts of protein depending on what you're looking for. Down lower, you will see the micronutrients, so your vitamins and minerals. From this information, what you're looking for is just to make sure that you're getting enough. Now, you probably aren't likely to receive everything you need from your food sources alone. This is where supplementation may come in handy depending on what your needs are. Certain foods come fortified with higher amounts of minerals, such as cereals and things like that. So that's just something to be aware of when you're looking at your food label. Now, you may have noticed these percentages along the side. Those are based off of a 2,000 calorie a day diet. So that shows you your percentage of your daily allotted value that the FDA recommends based off of that number of calories per day. Now, not everybody is going to need 2,000 calories a day. Some people need more, some people need less, depending on their lifestyle, activity level, and goals. If that's something you are curious to find out a little bit more about, I would recommend talking to a registered dietitian or potentially your physician to see what numbers you may be looking at to help you make a little bit more sense out of the rest of the numbers here, because this may not apply directly to whatever situation you are in. From here, you've got, again, your basic list. Then you also have your ingredient list, which would normally be present a little bit lower. So I'll just kind of show you a little one here. So you'll see the ingredients. I apologize, it's backwards here. And what you'll notice on those is that the highest percentage of what is in that product is listed at the top. So they're listed from the highest percentage to the lowest percentage. That gives you an idea of what the actual content is of the product you're about to have. So what we've learned from today is that being able to read a nutrition label allows you to make more informed and conscious decisions about what you're going to put in your health, and it makes you a more powerful proprietor of what you are trying to accomplish. So I hope that helped a little bit. Thank you for listening. Have a wonderful day.